I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action.
Finally, we got some snow. Man, I've got this cold I've been fighting. I think that's the trouble with living with so many tiny people and then sending them off to school is they bring home all sorts of disease. It's like living with 6 tiny petri dishes. It's a new strain every week. But I'm super excited this morning. Man, it's cold and I am not moving very fast. So I just opened the gate and behind me is a 40-acre piece that we just purchased. Now, most of you haven't seen us. Those of you that follow the channel, we haven't done a whole lot in the last few months. Hasn't been a whole lot of activity going on. Hasn't been too much building or too many projects. So we finished up our last project in August and we had to do some moving, so we were moving off the old property. And I started looking around, thinking I'm gonna do a spec house. Things are booming, things are crazy. I'm gonna build a house, and so I started looking around for property. And this 40-acre piece was available, and I said, well, it's probably more than I need, but let's go take a look. Maybe there's some opportunity there. Today we're out here looking at a piece of property. And right now they're logging it and getting it cleared out. And we're hoping that they'll finish up all the logging they got to do, and then we could get in here and start working on building a house. As you can see back here, they've still got a lot of trees to get hauled out of here. So I wanted to come out while they were still logging and check it out and see how many trees they were cutting down and what they were taking, what they were leaving. Our thought is that we're going to start this house and then put it up for sale. So it'll be a spec home. So if you're looking for a little cabin on 5 acres, and this might be the place for you. But there'll certainly be more videos as we go along, and lots more information is over the next few months as this project starts to develop. So stick around. This is I'm not sure, it's, timeline is a little flexible there with these guys getting the logging done and getting out of here, and then us being able to get in here and start building the house. But this will be upcoming through the summer and into the fall. We'll be working on this one. Great 40-acre piece, just north of Sandpoint, about 3 miles. You can get to Home Depot, Walmart, North 40, Burger King, Taco Bell, gas station in about 3 minutes from here. This 40-acre piece is really flat. A lot of the property around here is up on the side of a mountain, and it makes building a lot more expensive, a lot more earthwork, a lot more difficult, building roads. So this property is really choice because it's flat, 100% usable. So we started looking and saying, okay, what if we cut that 40-acre piece into 2 20s, and we had 2 parcels, and we could do 2 houses, or we could sell one and build on the other. Maybe that would save us some money. Well, as it turned out, after doing some research and our due diligence on the property, this area is zoned 5-acre minimums. So what that means is you could take the 40-acre piece and cut it into 8 chunks and have 8 5-acre parcels. So that's the plan. We're going to put together a little tiny subdivision here, and in that subdivision look at building a house on one of those lots. So it's taken some time to put together everything. There's a lot involved in this. It's got
it's got some, you can see all the cottonwood trees in the back, and that's usually indicative of a lot of water. So there was some worry about wetland areas, so we had to have that surveyed and inspected. We had to do all of the health department stuff, so having the health department out to do inspections on the soils to figure out what type of septic systems we could do out here, or if we needed to do a community septic to provide septic for all of the lots. It's been a busy month or so trying to put all of this together, and we've finally got it put together, and we closed on the property, and it's ours, and now the fun begins. So I'm looking forward to this new series of the North 40. I don't know if I want to start calling it the North 40. Maybe Cottonwood Lane. See all the cottonwoods back there? But that's really what we need, is maybe leave your comments in the... So I got to come up with a couple of things. I need 3 street names. There's one that runs east and west, and 2 that run north and south. And I need a name for the quote-unquote subdivision. With all the cottonwoods, I was kind of thinking Cottonwood Lane, but that one's kind of generic. So I'd love to hear some ideas from you guys on what you think would be good names for this particular subdivision. Now, let's talk about some of the funny business here. I moved my family all the way to not so sunny Sandpoint because I didn't want to be in a subdivision, because I didn't want an HOA. And now I'm here and I'm putting together a subdivision, and part of that is I have to write an HOA agreement, and we're going to talk a lot about that as I write CC&Rs and road agreements and all those things that are required documents that have to go to the county with this piece of property as we subdivide it and turn it into lots. So it's going to be a lot of fun to get your guys' input and feedback and build a subdivision that is something that we would all want and that we would be really proud to live in, that would give us the flexibility and the freedoms that we want, along with the protection that we want as well. So a lot of videos coming along in the next months, probably over the next year, as we develop this. I've got to build about a mile of road. I've got what looks like we're going to do is a community septic system we're going to have to put in. I've got high-speed internet out here that we're going to bring in. I mean, most people would rather have internet than have water. So we've got that to put in. I think that's going to end up being a tower, and then from the tower we'll feed fiber optic to each lot, and ultimately if people build houses there, then they'll have that internet. So we're out in the country here, but it's going to have all the amenities of home, which is funny, I guess, on a Central Mountain homesteading, which is buy 40 acres and a mule and move out to the woods. But I guess this is some modern homesteading, where yeah, we're doing septic and we're drilling wells, and we're also putting in power and high-speed internet. So I'm really excited about this. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. Please put those questions down in the comments, and we'll try to get back to you and answer those in future videos and in the comments. I think this is going to be a fun project. And most people go out and, hey, bought some property and we're going to build a house. Well, we bought some property and we're going to build a subdivision, and then we're going to build a house. Or who knows? People might come along and say, hey, we want to buy the lot, we don't want a house. I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting to see how it plays out in the next few months. But I wanted to get this out there and share this with you guys. A lot to do on this property, so I'll take you along and we'll check it out. One of the things that we need to do is we've got a bunch of slash piles. The previous owner did a really nice job of pulling stumps and cleaning this place up. And I can't say thanks enough. It's a beautiful place. In fact, he wanted to keep this place for himself and build himself a home and have 40 acres. And this is an absolutely beautiful piece. I wish I had all the money in the world. I could just keep it and build myself a house and have 40 acres. But that's not my reality. But he did a really nice job cleaning it up, and you can see he's stacked up these piles. Now these are all cottonwood poles and some birch in there. It's garbage, it's junk. The local sawmills won't touch it. I've even called the local pulp mills to see if they would take it and grind it up. They told me nope. So I've got to burn this pile, and I've got these slash piles to burn, and then I've got this other pile back here, and these are massive piles. We've got these blue flags here, and this is part of the wetland delineation that we'll talk about, that marked off different areas based on soil type and plant type. So there'll be more videos on that in the future. So you can see this log pile. It's massive. Not even sure what to do with this, but it all needs to go in the fire. It doesn't make great firewood. It's got too much water in it. They get really rotten. But if you need some firewood, come by, help yourself, load up your truck. It's free. You can see in here, see the mushrooms growing out of the side up there. It's really spongy. I mean, there's some massive trees in here. I'd be hard pressed to even get these onto a sawmill, even if it was a type of wood that was valuable.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve